Hey friendly ghost. This is actually not live. This is a overcasting. When I did this, I did it with an old style. And now that I've figured out how to really get this working up to speed, I kind of want to keep things on the higher end of quality. So this is going to be very, very weird. And it's always extra nerves when doing it this way, because you're not actively reacting to and contributing to the action that you're doing on screen. So it's always kind of like it's a bit extra nerve inducing. But yeah, after this, then we'll get back to doing it live in action. There was a few things I wanted to go over. Recently, I've been started playing Soul Edge and Soul Calibur, and then some PS1 games in general, because I got my PS1 working again. But the thing that I really wanted to get into was Tomb Raider. I wanted to know Tomb Raider 1 or Tomb Raider 2. Those are the two options for which Tomb Raider game I am going to start off with and get through a Tomb Raider Legacy type of ordeal. Because I know nothing about Tomb Raider. I want to learn about it. I want to play it. And if I like it or not, then that will be the end of that. But I at least want to try it at least once. And get into the habit of trying new things in general. So that's all about that. On the other front, I'm also considering playing Soul Calibur 3. What's it called? That one freaking mode. What is that? The Callous of Swords or whatever. The board game one. The Callous of Swords Dynasty or something like that. It's like a board game. I played it before, but I want to play it again. And what else? I also want to get into some Gran Turismo. Oh man, there's so many games I want to play now that I get my PS1 working. Ghost in the Shell. That was ultimately what I want to talk about. Is either I start Ghost in the Shell right now, or I keep doing Tomb Raider. Those are the two options for adventure games I'm going to be doing. It's either one or the other. Can't be both. If you play Tomb Raider now, then you have to put Ghost in the Shell off in the books. And vice versa. So, I'm going to leave that up to the ghostly mermaid slippers. In this, back to what's going on here. I'm trying to think, what did I do in here? It was the boss fights for the Dragoons. Don't they have like a name, like the Crusaders? It's the OG Dragoons. There was some sort of name that they called them. But yeah, I was doing those boss fights. That's basically the gist of this video. And why I'm overcasting on it is because, well, you'll see. You'll see. But the main gist of what was trying to be accomplished here is I'm trying to go through, there's like multiple boss fights, like 4 of them I think. About 4 boss fights. And I am going to do them all in a row without saving. Okay? I'm going to do all of them in a row without saving the game once. No recovery items, no healing items. None of that. This is plain old dissing water gloves that Miranda wears. And that's going to be freaking tough. It's going to be freaking tough. Dart finally leveled up to level 13. It's so freaking weird how He's been like level 12 for the past year that I've been trying to complete this game. And he's finally grown up to 13. He's a teenager. He's a teenager who still doesn't know how to complete an outfit. Also, just in general about Disc 4, I think this is Disc 4. No, technically this is Disc 3, but it's part of Disc 4. The game seems to have lost a bit of its charm at this point, for me. I don't know if that's the general consensus amongst the crowd and the populi, but around this time it seems to have lost quite a bit of its charm. There doesn't seem to be as much activity going around. There doesn't seem to be as much just not as much festivities going on. It's a lot of blandness, I guess. Rose, you visit me again. My power is at this limit. Please save the souls of the 4 Dragoons who were our companions. Surely, you have done well. But we have to pursue Zeeg now. I will trust you to save the Dragoon souls. So yeah, I recorded all this before, and I talked and did a commentary for it before, but I did it with the old style, and going through and editing it that way is beyond tedious. It's beyond tedious. I mean, it takes hours upon hours upon hours, and the fact that I've been doing it for this long, for however long I've been doing it, is just insane. You have to go through every single inch of the file, picking up every single clip that you can find, every single gulp or silent fart that's not so silent that you don't want to be heard. You got just so many outside interferences and things you have to pluck just to make it sound somewhat manageable, and that's not even on par of average. So there's so much going on just to try to make it a below average production. And I tried to edit that yesterday, I think, and I just decided about halfway through it, and I realized that even though I was editing it and just going about it as per usual, it sounded not even half as good as the Soul Edge one that I did, which is discovering the new method, which is all I do is just plug it into the PC and turning on a Real Talk neutralizing butt muffin computer organization mafia, whatever it's called, and you do that and you can get it to Windows 10 to actually process your mic. All this time I've been working through an iPod, and the quality is nowhere near as good. But right out the gate, this sounds like a gazillion gazelles times better. You don't even have to snort any butts. It's just right out the gate. The perfume booty juice. Right here, I was on my screen at the time because I got some new component cables. I can't tell the colors, so I'm like wondering which tower is this. This is the green tower, but I didn't know that. I'm not going to read any of this. I'm just going to let it play because I'm going to have to redo it again. But so might as well just skip to the fight at this point in juncture. So this is the first matchup of not Lavitz version 3.0. One thing I've noticed is that it seems like just somewhere along the lines, maybe the ideas started to dwindle a bit. Maybe something just started to go a bit off the wagon. Because up to this point, every single Dragoon had a different costume, right? First you had what's her name? Shauna. She's I haven't seen her in so long. Shauna had like the blue type of getup. Then Shirley had like a red thing going, reddish, pink, burgundy, and then Miranda has her piss uniform. And then you have, ever since around disc 2-ish, when you got Miru and then Linus, all the Dragoons. Oh, Graham too. Graham had a different uni than Lavitz. And holy crap, that damage. I'm not sure if Albert had a different uni than Lavitz, or I'm not sure. But I am sure that all of these Dragoons have the same copy-pasted uniform, same model as the original characters in the game. And whether that's intentional by design or just, saving cost and price because this is an old game. It's a little disappointing. But it is a side quest, so I guess it didn't really, rustle too many hairs. But this guy, he's basically just Albert printed out on a rather uninviting, that's a good word, uninviting background. Same stats as Lavitz, the same moves, just a different voiceover. He's pretty easily to work over if you just use the right stuff. Basically how I would approach this, being a solo, you don't want to use too much of your MP. You want to trying to see how much I did. You want to get off to a decent start. Excuse me. Use your power up and throw out your big guns. Either you guys have to throw them out early or save them, but you don't want to get caught in a phase where you used all of your Pop-Tarts. You've thrown all your biscuits out, and now all you left is with the crumbs. Disturbing side panel of broccoli or onions or something like that. So you have nothing left worth mentioning. You don't want to get caught in that position because they seem kind of smarter than the usual NPC. And they always hit hard. So if you don't have any backup strategy, and if you're going in one-on-one, you're going to want to have either a way to kill him extremely quickly, or a way to heal, which as you see right here, I'm dead out of luck because I didn't plan properly. And this right here is the end of the game unless you take a double turn like that, which is just sheer luck. Yeah, here I had no... So I just have to wing it on what he's most likely to do next. His magic is pretty weak. So even if he did it, I like my chances better at surviving, because he has no single out magic. all of his magics are effective of all areas. They don't target one person. So as long as you weigh out physicals and you're decently capable of handling the twinkle try stuff, then you could pretty much risk it all on just a hair of your leg. And that's his best magic. His best outside of the dragon, because everybody has a dragon, but they only do that at certain set intervals of their health, which is how you gauge where you are in a fight. This is a dragon. No, it's not. I'm gonna skip it up ahead because I don't want to show it all here because I'm gonna do it again. So as you see at this point, same situation as earlier before. Only this time I saved MP for a turn like this, but I decided that it was so close to death that I felt comfortable not even bothering with recovery at this point. But on the off chance that this does not finish it, then this is quite possibly the stupidest decision. But alas, I said alas, but alas. And none of this matters, I'm gonna skip it up again. This one right here, this little jerk, this jerk right here, this Miru copy-pasted wannabe is the worst. The literal worst. Her moves look really cool though, but Miru has them too. No, the only thing is Miru does it with a bit of drug abuse, so it's a bit more edgy. She's a problem, because no matter what, you know how beastly this Miranda is. You know how beastly she is. And that was an all enemy attack. And it still did 600. No matter what she does, she hurts big time. No matter what, it always hurts. The only time that you can maybe get away with it is if she does a physical on, say, Dart or someone who's more physically tolerant. But against Miranda, everything hurts. Everything. All the time. Non-stop. She's not a drug addict, but she is a jerk addict. She's a failed model for VictoriaSecrets.com. She was expelled and sent into Watchtower, the video game, and was cited. She was sidelined for DLC, in which never came out because, you know, you get like goosebumps. Not goosebumps. What the hell am I saying? When you get like, I'm trying to make up a fancy word for being tentative. I was freaking scared, okay? Because I didn't save the game. I didn't save the game, and I'm just trying to win. And that's a powered up Pop-Tart right there. And that should ideally do it. She doesn't have a lot of health. That's the one thing that she's got going against her. But man, she hits like a truck on everything she does against Miranda. And she's fast as I'm not going to rhyme that because I am not a sinner, and you can all just realize that. And Miranda is clutch. She's clutch, but you can only be so clutch against a jerk fiend. Another thing, how do they still have their forms if we have them? How do they still manifest with them? They said that they've been in prison for 10,000 years. How strong is Shirley to keep them here for 10,000 years? You believe that she's still in blue? Still in blue. 3,000 was done on her already. 3,000 in one turn and she's still in blue. $500, and that was with it being reduced by several halves, and she takes another turn directly after it. Keep in mind that I am powered up and in Dragoon. So I'm gonna skip it up a bit because it's more or less the same deal, and we're gonna be going back to this. Well, this part's good, I think. That's another thing. These attacks take so freaking long. They take forever. For freaking ever. And there you go. There you go. Everything takes so freaking long with them, and it hurts so much. Every single turn is a 15-minute cinematic. Takes off half your health every single turn. They talk a lot of smack. They take out your biscuits in a rub it in your mouth. They don't like your biscuits. They don't like it. They're jerks. They're tremendous jerks. And at this point, I was going to say, forget it. I'm just going to skip this part. I'm not going to upload it. I'm just going to look for the other Stardust. The last Stardust, which is the biggest issue, because I don't know where it's at. No clue. That is a healing spot, but I'm not going to do that when I come back to this, because that's for weenies. Only weenies do that. Weenies. So I need to find that last Stardust. And I am dreading that so much. I'm gonna have to talk about a whole lot of crap just to get by that. My worst fear is that it's like in a disc 2, disc 1 spot. And oh man, that's 50 spots that you have to track back to and look just to see if where you left it. I am not looking forward to that. I am not looking forward to that. That's one thing that I am not looking forward to in my favorite game. It's the only thing. It's the only thing. It's the only thing that I hate. And it's a user-inflicted error. Because backtracking in this game is not very pleasant. And yeah, that pretty much covers this. I got my butt kicked.